Feeling down during the festive season can be really tough, especially when you feel totally out of step with the rest of the world. Namaskar, I'm Dr. Prerna Kohli. I'm going to be talking about the mental health during the festive season. Through the conversation of your friends, family, you feel everybody's cheerful, everybody's having a blast, everybody's so joyous during the festive season, and you're feeling totally exhausted and tired. Feeling this way during the festive season especially occurs with young children who cannot go back from their educational institutions to their homes, and also with young professionals who are living out of town, away from the family, and the elderly who are also living alone and cannot be with their family. The festive depression is temporary, but people who are already going through depression feel little more lower during the festive season. And you must also understand that there is a change of season coming. We are moving from summers to winters. So there's a change in the environment. There would be change within us also, where we are acclimatizing our body, soul, and mind to the changing season. And many of us, added to the festival blues, also suffer from seasonal affective disorder, which we call SAD. By and large, the symptoms are that you don't feel like doing the usual things. You don't wake up at the time you were usually waking up, or you don't feel like going for that walk which you enjoyed earlier, or the fun you want. Added to the reasons already stated, you may be feeling, low and out because pressure to feel merry. You might be feeling in a certain way, but there's a pressure to feel in a different way just because it's a festive season, and you're filled with guilt and confusion. And there is a gap between expectations and reality, and that's why you may be feeling low. Also, it could be remembering the past festive seasons. Our mind has the ability to keep the record of what has happened in the past. And in the past, maybe the festive season was not something that you would want to remember. It could have been not a very happy season. And you go back to the same trigger points and start feeling low in this festive season also. Or maybe it had been a great festive season and now you're all alone, and that's why you're feeling low. Also, it could be, of certain financial hardships that you're not able to enjoy the festive season that you would like to. Or it could be that you're remembering your loved ones. It's not only that, you're missing your family and friends, but maybe you've had a heartbreak. Or maybe there's been a death of your loved one, and you feel low about celebrating the festive season. I'm going to talk about how to beat the festival blues. So one of the most important thing the brain needs for its well-being is the dose. Dose is the hormones called dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endomorphins. And these are also known as the happiness hormones for the well-being of a person, and we require all of them to stay happy. So let's start with dopamine. Dopamine is released in our brain when we are appreciated for our work at home, or in our educational institution, or at office. Maybe, if your mother cooks something and you are able to appreciate her cooking, it'll really release that dose. Or if the child is encouraged, has done well in a project, or maybe your presentation when goes well and you're given a big high five for it, it will release the dopamine. Also, when you're able to accomplish a task that you set out, maybe you had a to-do list, like maybe cleaning the cupboard, or maybe, reading, completing that book, or perhaps, finishing a certain project, then again, there is dopamine release in our brain. And thirdly, retail therapy also helps to, release a dopamine, like if you buy a new gadget, if you buy new clothes, or a house, or anything, a watch, anything that you wanted to buy, that also helps in releasing the next hormone, oxytocin. Oxytocin is released when there is what we call a touch therapy, like when you give a hug to someone, when you hold hands, when you shake hands, if you touch somebody or cuddle somebody, the hormone called oxytocin is released. And that's why we also encourage a lot of pet therapy, because when you're hugging a pet, again your brain will release oxytocins. And you can simply see, if a child is upset or has a bad mood, and you just go up and cuddle a child, or your colleague who is unhappy or is sad, you put an arm around that friend or a colleague, you'll realize that the person feels happier. So oxytocin really is released by the touch therapy. Serotonin is very interestingly produced in the brain when we help each other. You could be helping your friend maybe find a guest house that he or she is looking for, or help a relative who's looking for a specific kind of a doctor, or you help a co-worker maybe pitch in and helping with his work which he's not able to complete. So helping others really produces the serotonin in our brain. You could be attached to community service, an NGO, where you are either donating money or your time or your skills or your effort. So this can really be very helpful. And that's why you will see a lot of support group like on WhatsApp or on other kind of social medias, where people are really exchanging ideas to help each other. Could be to do with the skin, could be to do with the travel, could be to do with any kind of food, restaurant, accommodation, anything that the person needs, or the books, any kind of information. So that's why even writing blogs which are useful for others, or answering questions on the social media for others, which is useful for others and helpful for others, can really help produce serotonin in turn for us and make us feel happy and useful and good. Last but not the least, one of the most important hormones for the brain to release to be feeling happy is endomorphin. And endomorphins can be released through exercise. When the body moves, the brain grooves. So whether you are walking, running, cycling, hiking, biking, dancing, jogging, doing yoga, please do any form of exercise for at least 30 minutes every day. And the other way to have endomorphins get released in your brain is through laughter therapy. So laugh at least for 15 minutes every day with your family, with your friends, with your colleagues, or by just watching a comedy show, videos, reading something which is funny, because it helps in the internal jogging. Laughter is very good for our health. I hope this video helps you to have a joyous, peaceful, healthy, safe, and happy festive season. Stay blessed. Thank you very much.